So your petition, Timothy, I understand how this works is as follows. It would require 30 MLAs to get it across the line, right?
Yeah, so the petition that was lodged in the Business Office last Tuesday requires 30 MLAs to sign it. That would then trigger that this would be called into the executive, and then it would be over to the executive to make the decision. But one thing I want to be very clear on, Stephen, I'm not precious of how this is called into the executive. I used my speech on Saturday to outline that. Whether it's through my petition or whether it's through the DUP executive ministers pulling it in to block it, I'm not precious as long as they succeed and as long as Gavin has said about putting down this marker. That's all I want to see. Whether that's through my route of the petition where it's open to any MLA to sign, or if the DUP trigger the executive ministers to pull this in for a vote or to block it, that's up to them.
But let's not get lost in the weeds here. Why block it?
Stephen, this is about priority. £145,000 of your money, of my money, of ratepayers' money, will be squandered in this project. And this is all a pet project by the minister. She's went on a solo run. My understanding is that she had reached out to TransLink and put the pressure on TransLink to install this language. They pushed back. And then this is when the minister has overstepped her mark, I believe, and come in and says, well, I'll fund it. The Irish signage is going in Grand Central Station. And this is all about, a number of weeks ago we had evidence, we had polling amongst unionists, amongst Protestant people, and it said that there was a chill factor, clearly outlined there was a chill factor amongst unionism where Irish language is used. That's the way I look at it. That's the way many of my constituents...
Well, you're maybe looking at it because you want to be chilled by it. What is offensive to you? How does it endanger you or your Britishness if there's a bilingual sign in a train station and a bus station? Like how, Timothy?
All we have to do...
Are you that fragile?
All we have to do is go back to Gerry Adams's words where he said that Irish would be what would break us bees. That the Irish language has been politicised. It's been politicised very heavy.
But you're politicising it, aren't you, Timothy?
No, hold on. This has already been politicised before I got involved, before I unearthed last Tuesday that this was the minister's plans. Sinn Féin and Republicans have politicised the Irish language for years. And now, unionism has had enough.
But let me spend a little bit of time turning this around. I'm not talking about Republicans or Gerry Adams, but talking to you.
Yeah.
Because you could help depoliticise it, couldn't you? So, again, the question to you, Timothy, how does it endanger you, the sovereignty of this country, or your Britishness? If you're getting off a bus or a train, and there's the English language, and there's the Irish language, can you not just get on with your life?
Stephen, Irish language to me marks territory. Irish language to me creates a chill factor. And that's what will happen.
To you?
Yes, absolutely.
But if you're living
in people I represent.
But if you're living in Northern Ireland, shouldn't you care about everybody who lives beside you, around you, and elsewhere in Northern Ireland? What about the people for whom Irish...
This isn't just about me. This isn't just
about me. But what about the people, Timothy, for whom Irish language makes them feel inclusive in this little place where we live?
And what about the likes of myself? That then makes it feel uninclusive, which makes it feel as if it's marking territory. You can't just ride roughshod over my views. Like we have polling that's been carried out recently, which shows that if Irish language signage is erected on leisure centres, it makes unionism less likely to go. If Irish signage is put onto street signs, it makes unionism less likely to want to buy a house in that street. There is clear polling now which shows that Irish language causes a chill factor. That is the intention of what the minister is trying to do here. She is wanting to blow money, squander money that the executive doesn't have. Indeed, she doesn't have on greening Grand Central.
But of course,
Station.
These are not just Irish signs; they're bilingual signs.
Yeah, Stephen. Let's look at it. So, Orange Order, the Orange Institution, is part of my culture. There's many roads across Northern Ireland where there isn't tolerance given to walk down a road for 10 minutes. But yet, when it comes to Grand Central Station, we're meant to just take it lying down that the Minister is going to blow £145,000 on Irish language signage. Absolutely, there's far more fundamental priorities for that money. If you look at the Minister's own department, our roads are a mess. Northern Ireland Water is falling apart. And by Northern Ireland Water having multiple failings, it means then our economy will slow down because we can't even connect additional houses or new businesses to it. You know, there's so many more things that the Minister should be focused on instead of prioritising Irish language signage at Grand Central Station. It blows my mind that this is a priority for the department, for the Minister, and it lifts the mask of what Sinn Féin are really there to achieve and what their priorities are in government. Sandy Row, the businesses, the public of Sandy Row feel as if they've been downtrodden. Their concerns haven't been listened to, and indeed the businesses are on their knees because of the culture war that has been waged in that area, and this will only deepen divisions that exist in Sandy Row.
How will a bilingual sign deepen divisions? Like how?
It's marking territory, Stephen.
You're deepening divisions by raising it, are you not?
No, exactly. I'm raising it because people are concerned about it. If it wasn't for myself asking the question, tabling the question in Stormont last week on Monday, people wouldn't know that this was the Minister's
Colin
plan.
and Derry wants to speak to you, Timothy. Morning, Colin.
Aye.